Everyone in the office expected light-hearted wishes, Christmas bonuses, and laughter. But when the CEO, Ms. Evelyn Carter, casually asked her quiet employee, "So, Daniel, what's your Christmas wish this year?" she never expected his answer to silence the entire room and leave tears in her eyes. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for a promotion. His wish was something no one could have prepared for, and it would change both of their lives forever. Daniel Reed had worked at Crescent Innovations for almost 3 years, but most people still barely noticed him. He wasn't invisible, just quiet, gentle, and always busy trying to finish his tasks before rushing home. He was the type of man who smiled politely yet carried something heavy behind his eyes. And though his clothes were worn and his lunches simple, he never complained. This Christmas, the company was buzzing with excitement. Decorations hung from every corner, there were cookies, music, and a big Christmas tree glowing in the cafeteria. At the center of it all stood Ms. Evelyn Carter, young, brilliant, elegant, and known for being strict but fair. She loved Christmas, and every year she personally asked her employees their holiday wish. Usually, answers were silly: new phones, longer vacations, new cars. She expected the same this year, but she had always been curious about Daniel. He worked harder than anyone, stayed late without asking for recognition, and never took a sick day. Something about him felt different. Like he was fighting a battle no one could see. During the annual Christmas lunch, Evelyn walked around with a warm smile, asking everyone their wish. Laughter filled the room until she stopped at Daniel's table. He looked nervous, almost startled to find her standing there. "Daniel," she said kindly, "it's Christmas. Tell me, what's your wish this year?" The room fell silent, expecting a shy smile or a joke. Daniel took a breath, and his voice shook slightly. "My Christmas wish is that my little sister gets to walk again." The room froze. Evelyn's smile faded. Everyone looked at him, confused and suddenly worried. He continued softly, each word heavy, "She's only 9. Last year she had a spinal injury after a car accident. The doctors say she needs a special treatment overseas, but it's extremely expensive. I've been working extra hours, saving every rupee, selling everything I can. But I'm still far from the amount needed." Evelyn felt her chest tighten. Daniel lowered his eyes, his hands trembling. "I don't want anything for myself. I just want her to run again. To play. To live without pain. That's all I wish for Christmas." A deep silence fell over the room. Even the music from the speakers suddenly felt too loud for the moment. Evelyn swallowed hard, realizing she had touched a wound he had been hiding from the world. After the lunch, Daniel quietly slipped away, embarrassed he had revealed so much. But Evelyn couldn't shake the look in his eyes, raw, desperate love mixed with hopeless determination. That night, while the office slept under glowing decorations, Evelyn stayed late, sitting in her glass office with tears she couldn't stop. A boss wasn't supposed to get involved, but a human being couldn't stay silent, and she already knew she wasn't going to let this Christmas pass the way Daniel expected. For the next week, Daniel noticed something strange. People in the office who normally ignored him smiled at him. Some left snacks on his desk. Others wished him strength or whispered that they were praying for his sister. He was confused but grateful. Then, on Christmas Eve morning, Evelyn called him to her office. He entered nervously, expecting a formal meeting. Maybe he had done something wrong. Maybe his emotional moment had made the company uncomfortable. He clutched the file in his hand tighter, but when he stepped inside, he froze. There were no papers on the desk. No formal documents, just a large folder, and a Christmas card with his name on it. Evelyn stood up, her expression unusually soft. "Daniel," she said, "I know I asked you something personal last week. And I haven't been able to forget your answer. I want you to open the folder." His hands trembled as he lifted it. Inside was a printed confirmation, a paid appointment for his sister's treatment. The entire cost, covered. Daniel's knees almost buckled. "I don't understand," he whispered. Evelyn took a slow breath. "The company has a charity fund for emergency cases. We've never used it for an employee's family before, but we should have. When I heard your story, I realized you've been carrying this alone for too long." Tears blurred Daniel's vision. "But this is too much. I can't accept." "You can," she said firmly. "And you will. Because your sister deserves a chance to walk again, and because you've given everything you have without asking for help." He covered his face, shaking with silent sobs, the emotion hitting him all at once. Evelyn stepped closer, gently placing a hand on his shoulder. "Merry Christmas, Daniel," she whispered moments later. He looked up with wet eyes. "You didn't just give me a gift, you gave my sister her life back." But Evelyn wasn't finished. "There's something else," she said, handing him the Christmas card. "Inside is a 1-month paid leave. You'll take her to the treatment center yourself. And don't worry, we'll keep your position safe." Daniel opened the card and cried again. Harder this time. That he had never felt seen, valued, or supported like this in his entire life. That evening, he called his sister. For the first time in months, she screamed with joy, her laughter echoing through the phone like a song. And as Daniel left the building, snow beginning to fall around him, he turned back toward the glowing office windows. He whispered softly, "This year, Christmas saved us." The story of his wish spread through the company like a warm fire, reminding everyone that kindness is the greatest gift a human can give. And Evelyn, watching from her office window, felt her heart heal in a way she didn't expect, because sometimes, granting someone else's wish becomes the miracle you didn't know you needed. And that Christmas, 2 lives changed forever, one through faith, and one through compassion.